What's going on, everyone? So the Los Angeles Lakers have a ton to figure out, right? Obviously, they got to get the head coach, figure out what they're going to do with D'Angelo Russell. Is he going to walk? Are they going to give him an inflated contract? Are they going to be able to work out some type of opt-in and trade? Maybe they sign him to a long-term deal and then look to go trade him. There's a lot of options in that regard. The roster in general, are they going to go get another star? Like, a lot that this organization has to figure out. And we haven't even quite gotten to the offseason yet. But what I want to talk about, and of course I want to hear your thoughts and opinions, so let me know down in the comments below. Also make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. But this, in my opinion, I feel is like our last, here you go. This is our last chance to get it right. All right? Now, obviously, it's not like the world's going to end tomorrow or anything like that. So, at some point, the Lakers will be back in relevance and be great again. But as far as like this LeBron Anthony Davis era and this LeBron Anthony Davis window, I think this is it, right? You got to get a new head coach. You got to be right on that coach. Problem is, there's not a lot of great head coaches, right? I've talked about how, just take the gamble with J.J. Redick. It's kind of looking like J.J. Redick's going to be the case. I know a lot of people feel otherwise, right? But it's like all these head coaches are a gamble, so you're kind of just throwing a dart at the dartboard and hoping that it's a bullseye, right? It's kind of what it feels like with some of these head coaches. But you got to get right with the head coach no matter what happens. But you also have to get it right with this roster in whatever pursuit that you do. Again, I love that the Lakers seem to kind of be like, hey, we want to build around Anthony Davis and for the future, but also have pieces that can help us compete now. Just a little bit of a juggling act. Luckily, the type of team that you want to put around Anthony Davis is also a team that makes sense around LeBron James, right? Defenders out on the perimeter, shooting, playmaking, right? Like, you what you want for Anthony Davis, you also want for LeBron James, right? So it is kind of like the best of both worlds. And the Lakers' main pursuit is going to be another star, right? I know a lot of people are really low on Trae Young. A lot of people don't really like Trae. If the Lakers can get Trae Young, they're going to get Trae, right? However we feel about it, it's not like they're reading fan letters going like, man, Michael C from, Burbank says like they don't care. Right? If they can realistically land Trae Young, they'll land Trae Young. Donovan Mitchell is the home run play in my opinion. Donovan Mitchell makes sense now and the future. Where Trae, it could, like, if we didn't have LeBron, I'd be like, go get Trae. Trae and Anthony Davis could be a lethal duo. I just have my concerns alongside LeBron James, right? Like, how does that pairing work with LeBron? He wants the ball in his hands. He's best with the ball in his hands. Trae Young, same thing. But to me, I also don't mind the idea of kind of piecing things together, right? Like, again, just examples, but like if you could go get a DeJounte Murray and Alex Caruso and whatever, like sign, Valanciunas, take a flyer on like a Kevin Porter Jr., and then, at that point, who cares, right? Imagine if our starting five was like DeJounte Murray, Alex Caruso, Jared Vanderbilt, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, with like Gabe Vincent, Max Christie, Kevin Porter Jr., Christian Wood, and Valanciunas. Like, you're 10 deep. Like, it's tough. Like, good luck. Right? And you could do a lot of those same things with like a Donovan Mitchell. It'd be kind of tough with a Trae. Like, if you get Donovan Mitchell, like, technically the Lakers, depending on what happens with like D'Angelo Russell, Lakers could, again, in theory, go trade for Donovan Mitchell and his $35 million, and then try to strike a deal with Chicago for like an Alex Caruso or something. Again, just kind of mentioning names that I think could potentially make sense and maybe actual options, depending on what Chicago wants to do. Do they decide to kind of like, hey, let's tear it down a little bit? Do they want to kind of go it for another year? But even if it's not Alex Caruso, right, there's other options out there on the market. My point is just kind of piecing things together. But you got to get, again, it's that fine line. You got to build a roster that not only makes sense now, but also moving forward. So even if you piece things together, right, like, again, you do a Donovan Mitchell, Alex Caruso, Jared Vanderbilt, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis. Great. That can help you win right now. And then, in theory, LeBron leaves, And you still have DeJounte Murray, Alex Caruso, Jared Vanderbilt, Anthony Davis. I mean, you could always just move Valanciunas to the front of the line if you wanted to. Or, you go get that other piece. Maybe a star that's out there goes, hey, man, me, DeJounte Murray, Alex Caruso, Jared Vanderbilt, Anthony Davis, you plug me in, let's go, right? Like, you never know what's going to be on later on down the pike, right? 10 years ago, you said LeBron James and Anthony Davis were going to be on the Lakers. People would have told you you're crazy. Like, take your meds, right? Now, that's a reality, right? We won a championship with them. Like 10 years ago, no one thought, LeBron James, but that's how it's always been throughout history, even, right? I mean, and not even just the Lakers, right? How many people thought Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal would be on the Suns? And how many people thought Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant would be in Brooklyn, or Kevin Durant on the Warriors with that? Like, how many thought LeBron, Wade, and Bosh would be together, and Kyrie, LeBron, and Kevin Love would be together, right? Like Shaq and Kobe, right? How many people thought the Lakers would land Shaq, right? Kareem. You can go on forever. So you never know who's going to be later on down the pike. But that's why, to me, like, if you build it, they will come type thing. Like, you trust the brand, you trust that you're the Lakers, you trust whatnot. But you don't have tradable assets forever now, right? Like, you're kind of making this push to go all in because you have LeBron James and he's only getting older, right? And you got Anthony Davis. So you're kind of using whatever assets you have for the next 5 years plus, and you're kind of packaging all that stuff and unloading it to, go into the win now, but also create for the future. But that's the problem, right? Because, like, if you don't get this right, you're in trouble, right? Because now you won't have your picks and you won't have control over some because you're going to do pick swaps and what's like. Last thing the Lakers want to do is be in a position like Phoenix, right? Like, Phoenix, they have no choice. They have to figure this out. If they don't win a championship now, enjoy, mediocre, for the next 10 years. Literally. Like, it's just, you don't want to end up putting yourself in that position to where, you basically mortgaged your future for now and you got it wrong. All right. So the Lakers have to put themselves in a position to get this right. You got to get the head coach right. You have to get the complementary pieces right. You have to get if you get another star, you have to make sure you get that other star right. Right. Last thing you want to do is sell the farm for Trae Young. And it's like, Trae's 25, be 26. You got him for the long haul, right? You even have him post Anthony Davis. But it's like, if you don't have those complementary pieces, and then now you're looking to trade Anthony Davis, once LeBron leaves, and, now Trae is 28, it's like, you can't hit a rebuild with Trae, right? You just can't, right? So it's like, at that point, or he's 30 or whatever, right? Like, it's just, you got to get it right. Because basically the Lakers need to position themselves for the next at least 5-6 years, right? Because that'll kind of be through the end of Anthony Davis. That'll kind of be through the end of this wave of assets that you traded and all that stuff. Maybe you have a year or two where you're down, but for the most part, you kind of get through that. You got LeBron. You're still going to have picks along the way. You're still going to have things along the way. You're still going to get free agency signings along the way. You hit on a guy, you strike gold, you get a Malik Monk type situation, and he's right, like Kevin Porter Jr., right? Like, maybe you take a flyer on Kevin Porter Jr., he comes in, he's great, and he's like, man, I want to stay around here, I want to stick around here, right? Like, so maybe you kind of work it out to where he can, stick around for the long haul, and you hit on him, right? You never know. Maybe Max Christie starts taking leaps and strides. Right? Maybe 2 years from now, Max Christie's one of the premier, two guards in this league. A legit two-way guy that can hit shots and defend out on the perimeter, right? Like, you never know what it's going to look like 2, 3, 4 years from now. You never know what kind of young guys might come through. I think that they trade Jalen Hood-Schifino, but a lot of people call Jalen Hood-Schifino a bust already. Like, I don't understand how you come to that conclusion, given that he's only played like 10 actual NBA minutes, and on top of that, like, he's a rookie who. Everyone takes time to develop, right? Like, so No, you never know. Like, what if Jalen Hood-Schifino becomes somebody, or Maxwell Lewis, right? Or what if you get, Bronny and he ends up developing into something? Again, there's always the tomorrow, but you can paint yourself into a very bad corner. And you could be in a position where it's like, we might not win a championship for 10 years. Right? Because, I mean, again, if you get it wrong right now and you're stuck, because more likely than not, whatever you do in this moment, this is going to be your team. More likely than not, however this plays out, this is going to be your team. Maybe you can get a piece or two, and swap some guys later on down the road. But more likely than not, the core of this team is going to be the core of this team. Right? So again, say you have DeJounte Murray, Alex Caruso, Jared Vanderbilt, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis. That's very likely your starting five for the next 3 to 5 years. Right? Unless, again, a Max Christie just, dude, we got to figure this out. Right? Sorry, Caruso, you're 38 now, like, whatever, right? More likely than not, the next handful of years, that's what it is. So if that's not good enough, then you're not winning anything for the next few years. And then LeBron's going to leave, and then you're hoping that a star comes, but maybe it takes a year or two. I mean, even after Kobe left, right? It took, 3 years or whatever before LeBron actually came. It's just, and we were terrible before that. It was like a 7-year period where we were just one of the worst teams in the league. So it's like, I don't want to live through that again. I don't want to go through that like, oh man, here we go. Like, now we're awful. We're going to be awful for the next 5 years until we figure stuff out or strike gold or until Anthony Edwards comes to the Lakers, put it out in the universe. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you agree that this kind of feels like it's it? Like, this is the moment. Either we hit this offseason and we're competing. And I'm not saying we have to win it like this year. I mean, I'd love to, but I'm saying like we need to get a team that feels like, okay, like this team can win in the next year or two. Like, depending on how LeBron shapes up, like we can win this. Right? Like, so that's kind of where I'm at. Can we build that? But again, love to hear your thoughts and opinions, however you feel, down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. Helps me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.